Our Davison athletes are hitting the ice for the first time today.
The Cool to Care cans are stacking up.
And just how much do you rely on your phone? Find out this and more on today's edition of DTV News.
Live from Sandy Coot Studios, it's DTV News, your local source for news, sports, and student life.
Technology is all around us, and it's one of the biggest things to changing classrooms over the past 20 years. I'm Lucas Magno.
And I'm Alicia Paxton. People use technology to aid their work all the time, and Haley is live in the studio to tell us just how these uses can affect teens in the classroom. Haley?
Thanks, guys. There's a lot of technology in this generation, but is that a good or a bad thing? I set out to find out how technology affects the classroom and how the teachers are dealing with it.
Technology is a big part of our everyday life. According to Pew polls, 75% of teens carry a mobile device with them every day. 24% are online almost constantly. Teens today have a very digital lifestyle. They're used to having everything at their fingertips. However, this can be a good and a bad thing.
It's the number one issue. You know, being a school teacher, I think cell phones is the number one classroom management issue.
Teachers are coming up with many creative ways to keep students off their phones and paying attention in class.
Some teachers are being proactive, like Mr. Andrews, who created this card system telling students when they can and when they can't have personal electronic devices in class.
If we have individual work time, I let my students be on their phones. I let them, be responsible with it. And then when it's instruction time, when I'm talking, the expectation is that they should be put away.
Yet, students still check their phones constantly throughout the school day. According to CNN's Being 13 special, teens check their phones at least 100 times a day.
I use them every day, probably around in total 5 hours a day.
All the time, really. I mean, upwards of 20, 30 times a day at least.
However, not all technology use is bad. Some people believe that technology can be used to a student's advantage.
I'd say the good effects is we're becoming a lot more advanced. Information travels quicker. That's good for the medical field.
Technology has advantages and disadvantages. It just depends on how you use it. I'm Haley Garrett, DTV News.
Technology like this is only going to keep getting better, so we have to find out how to use it to our full advantage in the classroom. Now I'll send you back to Lucas and Alicia on the news desk. Guys?
Thanks, Haley. Jack Frost is almost here. Davison is predicted to get 3 to 5 inches of snow tonight, and it's time for all the skiers and snowboarders to get out and shred. Just make sure to turn in your paperwork and get your pass from Mrs. Fowler, room 269, by December 4th. If there's a class that you really don't want to take next semester, you have a chance to test out of it, but today is the last day to sign up. Be sure to get to the guidance office before the end of the day to ensure you can get a spot.
We called out the freshmen for slacking yesterday, and now it's time to call out the DHS staff. They've brought in a total of 13 items. To get back at us for probably making your students call you out, you should bring in some cans and try to overtake the sophomores, who have 62 items. Following them are the juniors with 24, the freshmen with 20, and the seniors with 18. Remember that every donation helps. Every Tuesday, NHS will be tutoring anyone that needs help from 2:45 until 3:30 in the Media Center. So be sure to check it out if you are struggling in any of your classes.
Senior portraits are due today. Any portraits not submitted today is not guaranteed to be in the yearbook. If you have any questions, be sure to ask a member of the yearbook staff. And if you're having trouble in Algebra 1, the Algebra 1 Shadow Program is always available. Go ahead and check it out Mondays through Thursdays in Mrs. Baldridge's room. Sessions start after school at 2:45 and last until 3:30. Come on in and catch up on some assignments and new material in a helpful environment.
Coming up after the break,
Savannah has everything you need to know on the hockey team and more.
Hey Davidson, I'm Savannah Rowe for DTV Sports. Let's lace up and get our skates and get started. The hockey team has their first hockey game tonight at the Dordt Fennel Event Center at 7. Good luck, boys. If you are a boy and want to try out for swim, you need a physical. Turn in and be at the Cursley pool on Monday at 4. DTV students will head out to Troy, Athens to webcast Cannons go head-to-head with Detroit Clash Tech tomorrow at 1. It will be streaming on masaa.com. That's it. That's all from me today. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, Savannah. Along with the chilly weather, something is coming. Teen Quest, a pre-employee training program for high school students, is arriving January 11th. It lasts until February 11th from 3 to 5 p.m. in room 212. Applications are available on the career wall. And military branch visits are also almost here. The Army will be at the high school November 23rd after the ASVAB test results are presented. And the Air Force will be here next month on December 8th at 9:45 in the morning. Both meetings will be held in the Career Center.
And if you like a challenge, you can sign up for second semester dual enrollment. You must meet with your counselor as soon as possible if you're interested. Classes are filling up fast at Mott, so register soon. Sophomores, if you'd like to go on the GCI field trip, you can pick up a permission slip in the main office today. The forms must be signed and turned in by December 1st, as the field trip is December 3rd.